Okay, you made it, day 8, and the idea behind this final email is just to make make it easier to do what we've previously done. So things like which image to use, so we don't have to specify every time we run a command, and where we want to copy our website from, which is denoted by the period there, and the path that we want to copy our files from, things like that. And how can we do that, I hear you ask? And we can do that by creating a Docker file that lets us run a set of commands or run a set of instructions in a more consistent way to avoid typing them out like we've been doing in the past here with something like that. We don't necessarily want to be typing all of that. If you can see where so we don't want to be typing this command out all the time, because potentially we can make an error. It's going to frustrate us, and yeah, anyway, hopefully you get the point. So we're going to create a Docker file, and I'm going to do that in Visual Studio Code. You can do it in a text editor. Don't worry if you don't have Visual Studio Code or you're on a Mac. VS Code runs on a Mac as well, so you can use it there if you want to. Let me just change the screen size. I think my machine's slowed down a bit because I'm running Camtasia. Come on. Okay, so just gonna reduce. Oops. This is quite annoying. Okay, so got it. I'm just going to drop that there. I will drag this in a little bit. Okay, that'll do for our purposes. I'm just going to reduce this. So all we want to do, I've got the correct directory open at the minute, but if we do Control KO or we go to File, Open Folder, so you can see this is where my website is that we created. So I'm in Documents, Nginx, HTML. So I'm going to open that directory, and you can see here, I'll just close these down. You can see that I've got my index.html file there. If I open that up, it's the one with Hello Spanky Monkey in it. All I want to do to create my Docker file is go to Create New File, and the Docker file is case sensitive. It needs to start with a capital D. It also needs to be spelt correctly. And so Docker file, capital D, all the rest of it lowercase. And it doesn't have an extension, so no extension type on there. It's just a Docker file. You can see that VS Code knows that it's a Docker file because it's got the little whale icon on there. All we're going to do is this is case sensitive as well, so it needs to be capitals. We're going to say from, and that command, or that yeah, let's go with command. I was going to say argument, but that command tells Docker where to get, or what image to get, sorry, and we want Nginx. And then we're going to go to the next line. We're going to do capitals again. I'm going to type copy, and the reason I've put my Docker file in the same directory as the HTML file is because when it comes to this part, I can just do a dot period to say that. So when you use the copy command, you have to specify 2 parameters. One of them is the current directory, and then the remote directory, or the remote folder where we want to copy the files to, like we did when we run it from the command line. I'm just going to go back to the email and copy that again. Oh, maybe not. So it's user slash share slash nginx slash HTML. So just note that there is a space here as well between the dot and the user. So this is our local path here because we're in the current directory, and then this is where we want to copy the files to, all of this. And at the minute that's all we can get into this file. I'm going to save that, and what I need to do then is to get my terminal. I'm going to get to the same directory. So it was cd, if I go back and cd, have I got it on the clipboard? No. cd documents slash nginx slash HTML, I think. ls, let me see what we've done. I mean, oops, I probably shouldn't be showing all this, maybe. Clear cd users ls oh, Mike, sorry, I keep thinking I'm on my PC, I'm getting mixed up. Mike, and then cls documents here. Yes, you can see cd, so documents, and if you notice I'm hitting tab there when I type a little bit of it. So if I do ngin and then hit tab, and if that's the only folder there, HTML. Okay, found it in the end. So if we do ls now, we should see our Docker file in the index.html. And what we need to do is, we've got our Docker file that we've created here. It's saved. Make sure you save it, otherwise there won't be the contents won't get recognized. And let's go back quickly to our email. So we've done this part, and now this is the explanation for it. We're going to run this command here. So this is a Docker build command, and what we're going to do from our Docker file, we're going to build a Docker image, and we can do that by running this command, and we need to also give it a name, which is this -t, so we tag it with something. When I go back to the command line, make sure that you're in the correct directory, otherwise if you do the ls, you should see your files there. That's the best confirmation that you're the easiest way to confirm. So if we do docker build -t for tag, you can use the full word as well, it's just an abbreviated way. I'm just going to call this my first image. It needs to be no spaces either, so you can't put white space in between like that. You'd have to do something like that if you wanted to name it that way. So I'm going to hit enter. Oh, did I do what? Oh, sugar. Sorry, my bad. It needs to be lowercase as well. So, oops. Yeah, don't be. Oh, and you need to tell it where it's gonna look for the Docker file, and we're going to do that because we're in the directory again. So we're going to put a period there. So Docker build -t, give it a name, all lowercase, and then say what directory it should go to look for the Docker file. So third time lucky. You can see that we get a bit of information. It lists the steps that it's created in the image. and successfully built, tagged it with my first image, latest, so that's the tag, or like the version tag if you like. Okay, so let's just see what we've got on the email now. So we do that, we get all this stuff back, and yeah, so then we list out the image. So we're going to do docker image ls, and we can see now top of the list there, 42 seconds ago, 109 megabytes, my first image. So that's pretty cool. So we've built our own image, our own Docker image there, which is pretty cool. And then you can see we've got another command to run here, and to specify the port in this way, a local port, then you need to use the -p tag. I haven't found a way that you can do that in your Docker file yet. You can expose a port, but that's for your container. There are some other things that I'm not fully aware of, but I'm pretty sure that if you want to expose a port locally, you've got to do it in the command that you actually run from the command line. So let's just type this out. So we're going to go so it's docker run -p, and I'm going to just go with port 90 like it did there, port 90:80, and then I'm going to run it in detached mode, and then I need the name of my image, so I'm just going to type my and hit myf tab. Oh, see if that works. Okay, maybe not. So I needed to type the my first image, need the full name. Let me just check I'm not missing anything. -g. Okay, cool. So yeah, should be good. So we get a container ID, or we get an ID back. If we go to docker container ls and we hit enter, you can see that we've got a container ID and using image, my first image. So that means we've created our container 11 seconds ago. So let's have a little look if I can pop this open again, and this time I'm going to go to port 90 because that's what we asked, or that's what we instructed Docker to open up for the port. And you can see, you might not have noticed any difference there, but it's loaded and we get the same HTML markup that we used in our website. So what we've done, we've sort of abstracted some of this command, like you can see we don't have the two paths to sort of contend with and copy every time. We didn't need to specify the image, like the default or the base image that we used, and we've created our own image and we've created a container based on that. So that, I think, my friends, is it. I hope you've enjoyed the 8 days of Docker, and I hope it's been helpful. Don't forget you can email me or contact me. I'm happy to have you ask any questions about it or anything that's not clear. So thanks very much. Peace out.